This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
All be upstanding, please. The Prime Minister is in the house.
I'll stand up.
There he
Hello,
is. Yeah,
sir.
we will stand for this.
Hello, sir.
Good to see you, Prime Minister.
Welcome
Thank you.
back.
Wow, a
I
level
know.
of respect I haven't always
I know.
got in this studio. Moving into these close quarters.
I know,
means that,
we've changed.
you've changed. There's
I'm sitting back
court,
down now. That's
Yeah.
too
There's
close
no
to
voice.
exercising.
There's
Yeah.
no dartboard.
There's
I
no.
know, we
I
don't
know.
have
We're
room for
concentrating on our jobs.
There's no activities.
It's the worst.
here.
Yeah,
It's pretty boring, isn't
Would you
it?
be allowed to have a dartboard in your own personal office? You would be allowed to in
That's
there.
right, you've got room.
You got so much room.
I don't see why I couldn't.
Mate, a little round of darts at the PM.
That'd be amazing
good.
having a world leader in there and you just bring out the darts.
Bring out the darts. Here we go.
That would be. And then, if you're working on policies with
Yes.
that said person, then you'd be able to play for him.
Winner
Prime
gets their
Minister.
way.
Favour it up.
Yeah.
Well, there's another constructive suggestion.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
So, Albo, the big news, we've got to get this out of the way
Yes,
first,
of course.
is that you have taken the lovely Jodie off of the market.
Yes.
Which is
You've
about
locked her
time.
down.
About time.
I have. Well, I was worried about you.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
yeah,
He
Nathan
was a
was
threat,
coming.
wasn't he?
Nathan was
'Cause-
coming.
Yeah.
I was coming for her, and you know what? I wouldn't touch her as much, and we go shopping a lot, so she'd be right on that. So I want to know, I've read about the proposal, but I want you to take me to the proposal, because you know us, we're friends. I want you to take me to the proposal as if you were speaking about a romantic movie, and I've got some music for you. Let's set it up.
Yep.
Here we go. So,
Okay.
Albo.
So you're on a sinking ship.
So tell us all about it. So it's happened. You're at the
So-
lodge. You're at the lodge. Go.
Dinner at Italian and Sons beforehand.
Yes.
Oh, so you went
Yeah.
out for dinner.
You went out
You
for
have a
dinner.
chef at home. Okay,
but
keep going.
Went out
Make
for
it
dinner
magical,
because
make
it
it
was
magical.
Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Out for dinner.
What did you
Came
have?
back.
What did you
We
have?
had 2 courses,
Um,
pasta, different
Yes.
pastas, but we had
Yes.
the same fish.
oh,
Fish for dinner.
That's love.
Fish for dinner.
Yeah.
And then we had a trip back to the lodge, and I said to, of course, we had Toto did her little dance thing she does because she
Yes.
hadn't seen us for a couple of
Toto's
hours.
a river dancer.
Yes.
The dog. It's actually amazing to see in person. Keep going.
The same as would occur if we were away for a couple of months. And then
Yes.
I said to Jodie, she said, "Oh, get ready." I said, "I've got something for you." So I set it up on one of the balconies upstairs.
Yeah.
And
That overlooks the lawn.
that overlooks the lawn at the
So,
side.
yeah, I go the
Yes.
side lawn. Yeah,
the
got you.
side lawn.
Been there.
And had a bottle of champagne and
What Moet?
Jodie had been doing. Oh no, I'm not going to give an ad for the
Yeah.
brand.
No,
I'm
don't do that.
not going to do that.
Okay,
Don't
so
do that.
Spumanti. Keep going.
Yeah. Passion
And
pop.
we went.
Yellow Glen.
We went Benin. We went. So I got that ready, and Jodie had been doing Feb fast.
Okay.
Wow, yeah.
So this
So she broke it.
broke, as had I in solidarity.
Yeah. So
and
you just did you take her to the balcony? Or how did she discover?
sat down. I put the 2 chairs had been set up in advance. A lot of planning went
Now,
into
is
this.
that unusual for you to be out on the balcony looking
Yeah, it
over the
is.
side lawn? So was she like cottoning onto something
is.
happening, or?
No, she just thought it was a nice night.
Yeah, and
Beautiful
it's
night in
Valentine's Day,
Canberra. And
so-
it's Valentine's Day.
So it's kind of a bit of effort for
yeah,
once.
Beautiful.
bit of romance.
Yeah, look at him go.
Yeah.
And so I popped the question, and she,
So knee.
I'm not going into all that detail.
Two knees.
I'm not going into all
begging.
that
That's
detail.
begging.
You went one knee. You're not going to not go a
I'm
knee.
not going to go into
You
all
went
that
a knee.
detail.
Elbow, can I ask you though how? I mean, I've been in that situation. So the nerves thinking
Oh,
up
don't rub it in.
what stage you're going to do it.
Oh, well, I've been thinking about it for a long period of
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
I've got to say. And so thought about, the right time and,
Yes.
and place and date. And obviously Valentine's Day was appropriate. And
Yep.
New Year's Eve, there were a few too many people around. I thought about that. So then,
So you've had that ring in your pocket for a while then?
no, hadn't had the ring, but
His
had
Prime Minister, someone carries it for him.
had the idea.
Okay.
And so then I...
Did she think about it for a while?
It was pretty quick, but yes, I've got to say. We've been together for
Yeah.
a long while, and you've seen us together in social
absolutely. And
occasions.
she's just a ripper.
You two
We
make sense
love
together.
I am
Jodie.
very, very lucky.
yeah.
And we needed to... Yeah, it's been years we've been together now.
Yes.
And I didn't think that I would find someone that I
Yes.
wanted to spend the rest of my life
Yeah.
with. But I have. And she, for whatever reason, has said yes as well.
Yeah.
And clearly that was where the relationship was going. So
Yes.
I wanted to
Locked her down.
I wanted to formalise that,
Yeah.
and she obviously had thought about it as well because the yes was very quick.
Yeah.
Well, that's a relief, I'm
And
sure.
it was.
Oh, it's
And then
beautiful.
she
Yeah.
was amazed that I'd managed to go out and get a ring made and have all that ready without anyone knowing.
And right size and everything.
So, oh yeah, no,
So it
well,
fit as well?
I had a plan there.
Yeah.
I had a plan. I borrowed some
Chopped off one
dress.
of her fingers.
I borrowed some dress rings.
Yes.
And there was a whole scenario.
And then two maids got fired.
I checked out the size, which is I knew nothing about this until recently, but size L.
Okay,
Size
good to
L.
know. That's fine. They're fine
Size
fingers.
L.
Elbow,
Yeah.
it's okay. You've got the rings. That's
In
that's
case
an
we
important
wanna
part
buy
of
a
getting
ring
the
too.
size. But actually picking something that Jodie would like is I don't know how I'd do it
Well,
for Jodie.
I'm glad she certainly did like it, and I sat down with a friend of mine, Nick Cerrone.
Yep.
He's a great Italo-Australian
Yep.
Yes,
jewellery
he's very,
designer.
very well known.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he's based in Leichhardt, so
Yeah.
his studio is in Leichhardt. He's always employed. I've done lots of political things there because he employs apprentices.
Yeah, right.
About 30 of them.
So did you go in there under the ruse of
And-
talking to him about that sort of stuff, but snuck in a ring meeting?
I went, well, I don't have to. I just went in there, but not in the old
Wasn't an-
diary. So
wasn't
no
an
one,
official
no
thing,
one
yeah.
knew. No, so got
And so,
taken there. So the people listening here, my staff knew nothing about any of this.
nice.
So
That's beautiful.
They were all shocked that I managed to. My executive assistant was like, "How did
How?
you do that?"
Yeah, because then you've got to schedule a press release and press conferences
Well,
and stuff. We saw you on the lawn.
My security can do. Can take me places,
Yeah.
of course, without telling.
There's tunnels everywhere.
Well,
we don't
that's
know
right,
about them.
that's
There
right.
are tunnels
That's
everywhere.
so good.
Went there, went back and did it over a period of weeks.
Yeah, right.
Calling in
And the
there
design
at
was
Leichhardt.
your idea, or you took advice from Nick?
I
or?
took advice. Of,
Yeah.
It's
Big
a
is
family
better
business.
is the-
Him, his daughter, and his chief designer.
Yes.
We sat down and went through. They had lots of different rings,
Yeah,
and we
it's a
went
lot of
through
choices.
all the things you got to choose. You know, is it gold or silver?
gosh.
What form of gold?
Yeah. How big's
I
that
don't know
diamond?
anything.
Diamond, all of that. Where's it
Solitaire or
from?
part of a design,
I wanted
yes.
it to be Australian.
Yep.
Yes.
And it all is all Australian. From WA, of
Yeah,
course.
there you go.
Argyle.
Thank you.
WA connection there. And we picked something and then they
They made
sent
it
me
up.
little text messages and showed me various designs to make sure that it got right. And Nick was really pleased with it. And
So was Jodie.
so was Jodie, most importantly.
matters.
Remember, also making history. If you get married during your time as being Prime Minister, you'll be the first person to ever do that in office. That's exciting. I want a
Yes.
Women's Day extravaganza.
that-
I want all of it. I want to
Is
wear
that
a
the
veil.
plan?
You wear a veil. We all wear veils.
Is that the time frame we're looking at? Well, yes.
Look, we haven't had a chance
Yeah.
since then. Jodie had a work thing on Thursday night. She works full time. And then Friday I was on the Central Coast and Newcastle. And then I was
now
in
you're here.
Nowra
Yeah.
and here yesterday.
So you haven't had a conversation about it yet?
No, we'll sit down. There's plenty
You'll
of
get
time.
home and she
Plenty
will have
of time.
organised everything.
Plenty of time. Jodie will certainly be, her organisational capacity is extraordinary.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she will have thoughts, but we'll.
I mean, the Lodge is a nice venue.
It is.
But
you know
Billy's
what?
not a bad
No,
venue too.
Kirribilli.
Yeah.
But it
Okay.
is their house, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, do you want to have it at your house?
We'll take our time to.
We'll
work
get
through these.
we'll get some stuff organised. We'll speak to you because you're busy.
And you've got to have it as well when
Fine.
there's
we can do it.
some time off
Yes.
immediately afterwards. Which,
Yes.
when you look at my diary,
Just go to Hawaii. It worked for Scott Morrison.
it's not going to be soon, and I can confirm that the honeymoon will not be in Hawaii.
The Prime Minister's sticking around.
I
It's
can
18.
confirm that. That's a one-way ticket for Prime Ministers, I think. Proven. They should just keep going if you go to
Aloha,
Hawaii.
Prime Minister.
Now, we are talking about Taylor Swift non-stop recently,
Yes.
all over WA,
Funnily
and
enough.
she's not even playing here. So tell us what your interaction is
Coldplay
going to
played
be.
here, though.
Yeah,
they didn't play anywhere else.
No,
We're-
they're
we're
going
not
to.
complaining.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you getting along to a core?
I am going along to
One of the
gig.
shows?
One of the shows,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's
What's your outfit? What are you wearing? Have you got a
Which
spotlight
era
yet?
are you going for?
you'll have to wait and see.
Do you want to borrow something from my closet? I'll duck home today and drop it off to your hotel. And I'll
They're talking about it being like a massive boon for the economy.
It is.
Which is extraordinary, isn't it?
It's
For
like
one
$1 billion
person.
bucks.
Yeah.
Billion bucks.
Hotels are full in
I know.
Melbourne, and
We're in a
will
cost
be
of
full
living
in
crisis, but
Sydney.
it's amazing how people can find the money to go
Well,
and see Taylor Swift.
Record numbers of
Yeah.
Australians went to Bali last year. Record
Yeah, right.
numbers of Australians went to Fiji last year.
And Japan. wasn't
And
it?
Japan's, yeah.
Hey, as a Prime Minister, because, you know, Taylor Swift's here, of course, and you're the leader of this country, is there... are you going to meet her? Do your people reach out? Does she reach out to you? What happens? Can you meet Taylor Swift if you choose to?
Well, I haven't
Possibly.
tried to.
But you could, surely you could pull that card.
You can get deported. You can have it deported.
You've got her on vinyl. Come on.
Yeah, well, you've seen my
Oh, yeah, I know.
Tay-Tay vinyl
Oh, yeah.
there at the lodge during your visit.
I know.
That's right.
By the
which
way,
was
our photo, we're on the mantle.
Your photo
Update.
is still up on the mantelpiece.
So who else is on the mantle?
Well, on the mantelpiece is, of course, Jodie.
Yes.
My son.
Yes.
Nathan?
The dog.
There's a couple of photos of the dog.
Yes.
And there is a photo as well of King Charles, Jodie, and myself. And then
And
there's you three. And so it's a great conversation starter because people come in and they go, who are they?
There's the king. There's Toto. Who are these misfits?
Who are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they broke in one night and left it. That's what I'd be saying.
No, it's terrific.
So good.
Yeah. On the cost of living situation, people want to always ask you that kind of question, but
Tax cuts.
tax cuts has been fantastic. I know that works for everyone. I just want to talk about. I go to the supermarkets like all of us do all the time. It blows me the way, and I heard I heard people talk about this domestic inflation. So we're trying to bring that down, right? But
Yep.
there's only there's a lot of supermarkets, but really Coles and Woolies is
Yes.
a lot
It's
of
a
people go
duopoly,
to,
essentially.
and they're taking the piss.
They are.
You've done an investigation into the banking sector over time, but what about? I mean, this is just.
We're onto it.
Okay.
We are having the ACCC.
Yep.
Having the Competition Consumer Tribunal.
Yep.
Is having a very close look at the whole supply chain, how it all works.
Yeah, because it's not
At
the farmers
moment-
making the money.
Yeah, at the moment there's a voluntary code of conduct, right?
Right.
So what they're doing is looking at whether there should be a little bit more compulsion in there, and more transparency as well is important. In addition to that, I've got Dr. Craig Emerson is looking at a review as well, because people are under financial pressure, and when they hear about farmers getting less for their
Yes.
product, but that not being passed on, then that's not fair.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
mate.
If farmers are getting less,
Yep.
Yeah, it
The
should be
checkout
costing
price
less
should
at
be
the
less.
checkout. Yeah, 100%.
Well, I feel like since COVID, it was all blamed on COVID.
Yeah, it
and
was.
it was blamed on the Ukraine
And the
war.
war.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, I feel like supermarkets are in a scenario where they're going, okay, everyone's used to paying a little bit more,
Yeah.
so we're going to keep the prices up, because they should have come down. The price jump on certain stuff is unbelievable, like $1.50 on one product.
Yeah.
You cannot tell me that has increased.
No, 100%,
that much.
mate.
So I'm really glad that you're doing something about that.
we're onto that, and we're
Shut it
onto
down.
People's wages increasing, real wages increase 2 quarters in a row. That's good news. And of course, our tax cuts will go to every single one of your listeners who's a taxpayer will get a tax cut,
Yeah.
whereas so many of them
So you've been
were
heavily
going to miss
criticised
out.
for this, of course, because you changed your mind on the policy that you promised going into the election.
We did
which
change
was
our mind.
to do with the stage 3 tax cuts, which meant the people the higher earners were going to benefit more.
That's right.
And then Middle Australia were going to miss out. So you've basically reversed that decision and said that now everybody gets a tax
That's
cut.
right. Look, politicians
Yes.
will still get $4,500
Yeah.
tax cut, but they won't get as much as they were going to get.
Yeah.
But guess what? Middle Australia will now not miss out. We'll get
So I
double.
can't believe you've been criticised for
They'll
this,
get
because it makes
double
more
what they were
we're
going to
probably
get.
the
We were
ones that
talking about
stand
this.
to be affected the most by it.
When you did it, we went, straight
that's
away, broken promise. You go, oh, that's crap.
Yeah.
But no, what you did is as things changed. You assessed the situation and said, how can I help more people?
It's a gutsy call.
Yeah, and to be honest,
we're
like
upfront
I'm one of
about
the people that doesn't benefit from
No,
that
same.
change.
Yeah, that's right.
But yet I am all
See
for
the point of it.
that happening.
That's
And,
right. Look,
yeah.
we were with retail workers yesterday at Hyde Park here in Perth, and many of them were going to get not a single dollar if they earn under $45,000 a year, which is so many people who work at Woolies
Yep.
and work at Coles and work at these outlets. They were going to miss out. Now, they need support as well. And so lowering that that bottom rate from 19 to 16 will make an enormous difference for them. And that's important, that people don't get left behind, because they're under cost of living pressure more so than people on my income.
Yeah, no doubt.
for sure.
Albo, something on the cost, the homes, right? On the housing crisis. Now, I've got this. I just want to know if this is stupid. Well,
yeah.
you cannot get a house at the moment, right? It's so impossible.
Are you talking about rentals?
Buying.
Or buying?
I'm buying a house, right? So you cannot get a house at the moment. By the time that you rock up there, the amount of times that I and people that I know have gone to, it's literally gone up that day. They've called and that house has been bought by an overseas investor that is not planning to live in that house. How can we shut that down and get people that live here that actually want to live in these houses? Can we get that shut down in the meantime for a few years, just so it's not going to someone that's just investing that doesn't even live in our country?
Well, the number of homes in that situation are actually not a huge number, but we do have restrictions there on overseas ownership, and we did make changes in our last budget about those issues as well. But the key is supply. So tomorrow I'll be with Roger Cook, the Premier, here in Perth, looking at our build-to-rent and what that has done for increasing supply, as well as social housing, increasing supply as well. And we have before the Parliament right now our Help to Buy scheme that's actually based on WA scheme. It's shared equity, essentially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So the government can, instead of, if you're buying a house worth $1 million, if it's a new build, for a unit or what have you, then the Commonwealth can own up to 40% of it. So that cuts it down from $1 million to 600,000, which means that it then is more affordable for you.
It's in reach.
And then down the track, you can, of course, buy back that government equity.
Or if you sell it, the government gets their equity back.
So it's modelled on a scheme that's operated successfully here in WA for decades.
Thank you.
On that, are you going to help the building industry out?
Yeah.
Because every time you're
'Cause that's the
reading,
problem,
one of those,
isn't it?
the builders are going down because they've gone on
can't
fixed
build them fast
pricing
enough.
before. They can't build them fast enough.
Well, we've got a big build-to-rent scheme, which will see between 150 and 250,000 private dwellings built.
But do we have the
Who's going to
builders to
build
build
them?
them?
Who's going to build them?
Well, what we're doing, fee-free TAFE. I'll be at Thornley TAFE in a short period of time. 300,000 fee-free TAFE places, making an enormous difference, training up our carpenters and our electricians and builders, making an enormous difference and doing it for free. Part of our cost of living measures.
That's good.
That is a
but
bonus.
also
That's
really
great.
good for housing.
Yeah, if not, is it conscription when they used to just conscript you into the army?
So conscript them into the building industry.
Well,
is that what we're saying?
like, I know that you want to be a lawyer, but too bad you're a brickie.
Thoughts?
We need brickies.
Prime Minister?
Yes,
Hard work.
Guess what? You don't need to do that, because if we get the message out there, I tell you what, tradies have a good life, secure
they
job,
do.
good wages, and do pretty well.
They do.
So we want people to value a TAFE education as much as a university education.
And it's certainly cheaper.
There you go.
It is. It's free.
That's right. Thank you, Prime Minister. It's always a joy when you come and visit
Thanks,
us,
Prime
Albo.
Minister.
And
Thank
all our
you
love
so
to
much
you
for
and
the good
Jodie.
wishes.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.